simplify as a single fraction, we have 2 over x minus 3 minus 1 over 2x plus 5. So I've just written it down here. Now when you want to simplify as a single fraction, so what we need to do is we got to make sure that both the denominators become equal. So how do we do that? So we got to multiply the numerator and denominator of the first fraction with the denominator of the second fraction. So in this case is a 2x plus 5. So we're going to multiply the denominator with a 2x plus 5, and of course if you multiply the denominator with a particular number, and you're going to multiply the numerator also with the same number. But of course for the second denominator there is a 2x plus 5, so what is not there or missing is x minus 3. So you're going to multiply the denominator by x minus 3. So now the denominators would be a multiplication of x minus 3 and a 2x plus 5 and a x minus 3 and a 2x plus 5. So the denominator would become the same, so we could subtract them. So of course if you multiply the denominator with a 2x plus 5, we got to multiply the numerator also with the same number, that's a 2x plus 5. And for the second fraction, we are multiplying the denominator with the x minus 3. We're going to multiply the numerator also with the same number, right, which is x minus 3. So then the next step would be just to simplify the numerators by expanding the brackets. So 2 times the 2x is of course going to become 2 times 2x plus a 5. So I've just copied down. And then we have got a 1 times x minus 3. So your numerator is simply going to be x minus 3, right? So we can just put the 1 there. So now we can see that the denominators are exactly the same, 2x plus 5 and x minus 3, 2x plus 5 and x minus 3. That's how we simplify a fraction, okay? So now let's expand the numerators of each of the fractions. So the denominators are just copied down as it is. So 2 times the 2x, and that's of course going to become 4x. And we have got a 2 times a plus 5, so we're going to expand that. So that will be 2 times 5, that's a 10. And 1 times anything is going to be just exactly the same thing. So we just leave it as x minus 3. 1 times x minus 3 is simply x minus 3. Now remember, whenever we want to subtract a fraction, okay, and there is a number of terms on the numerator, in order not to make any careless mistakes, so it's best and safe for you to put a bracket when you are going to merge the fractions together. So since the denominators are the same, so we can group them together and we can write the numerators together, but remember to put the bracket for the numerator of the second fraction. The reason being that we're going to, when we expand it with a minus sign, so all the signs of all the terms inside this bracket is going to become just the opposite, right? So the positive sign will become negative and the negative sign will become positive. So therefore it's safest to put a bracket here before you perform the expansion and simplification. So the 4x plus 10 I'm just copying down as it is. Now I'm just going to expand. The minus times a plus x is going to become minus x. So that's how I get the minus x here. And what about the second term? Minus times a minus, of course that would become plus 3, right? Negative times negative is going to become positive 3. So many of the students, because they don't put the negative sign, so what they end up writing is minus x minus 3, okay? So which is of course wrong. So minus x plus 3. Now if you examine the numerator, there are a couple of terms with the x and there's a couple of numbers. So we're going to group them. So let's regroup, all right? So 4x and the minus x, let's put them together. And the constant, which is a plus 10, I move it to the last. So 3 and the 10 can be added together. 4x minus 1x, that's going to give us a 3x in the next step. So 4x minus 1x is going to give you a 3x. So throughout the denominators have been kept the same. So 4x minus 1x is a 3x, and of course plus 3 and a plus 10 would give you a total of plus 13. So the numerator is 3x plus 13 and the denominator has 2x plus 5 times x minus 3 as the denominator. That leaves the option C as the correct option.